What's up, YouTube? Today, I'm going to talk about coins. I want you to start looking at your pocket change. You might be, you might be giving extra money away and not even know it. For starters, I don't know how much you're going to want to pay attention to this one, but pennies made before 1982, they're 95% copper. Each one of these, the melt value is over 3 cents. So that's That's an automatic return on your money right there. Granted, you can't melt down currency, and I don't know what they're gonna do about it, but I bet you that the 95% copper pennies, I bet you in the future there will be a buyback or something. Keep your eye out for wheat pennies too. Another thing that I always check, always, anytime I get change, like I'm just in the habit of checking now so that I don't have to go through piles of it. But quarters and dimes and half dollars from 1964 or earlier are 90% silver. Quarters, 1964 or earlier. I can't get the date to show up on that one. Here, this one's in real nice shape. I put it in a plastic because it was in such nice shape. Anyway, trust me, I think this one is 63. Yep, 1963. Peace dollars. Oh, a silver dollar. That's that's worth what, like 37.25. You won't come across those much. I got that one in a coin shop. But quarters and dimes are definitely still in circulation. These are both mercury dimes. I just grabbed some of my constitutional silver. But that's what it's called, junk silver, constitutional silver. I highly recommend keeping an eye out for it. That dime is worth about $3.50. That quarter is worth about $8.50. That half dollar, even if there was no collector value to it, that thing is worth $17.50. And like I said, the peace dollar, that one's $37.25. Yeah, definitely be checking your coins, guys. It's it's an easy way to pick up a buck or two here or there. I don't come across them all that often anymore. Used to be a lot more frequent. Another thing you can do is go to your bank and buy a roll of quarters and look through the roll of quarters real quick. There's people that go and buy boxes of coins and sort through them. You can find videos on YouTube if it interests you, but definitely I don't know how I feel about the 1982 and earlier pennies, the 95% copper pennies. I think I think at some point there will be a buyback or a government buyback on them, or at some point you will be able to scrap them because, man, we've got trillions and trillions of pennies in circulation, and they're not printing them anymore, which might already make these collectible. But I don't know if I would monkey with that one if I was you. I just look because when I find a silver coin, I throw it in my fifth pocket, and when I find a copper penny, it goes in my fifth pocket, and that's just my habit now. Like I said, I don't find the quarters often. Every now and then you'll find a barber dime. I wish I had an example of one here for you, but that's what a mercury dime looks like. And in the prepper community, all those dudes, they know about this stuff. They know about constitutional silver, junk silver, whatever you want to call it, and they'll know its value. And if stuff really hit the fan, and like they're talking, I saw on a couple of the prepper channels they're talking about food riots with the EBT running out and everything, and I might make a video on that here pretty quick. But if food does become a scarcity and we got no money, if you've got a couple of coins, that's a couple cans of beans all day long. Anybody in the prepper community knows that. They'll they'll trade you a couple of cans of coins for that. But the barter system, I would start learning about the barter system too if you're concerned about the world going sideways, because that's definitely going to be a part of things, is bartering. The American dollar's on thin ice right now. The other countries are dumping our currency, and the value of our dollar has gone down, meaning that the dollar you had in your pocket 10 years ago won't buy you the same thing that the dollar in your pocket will now. A dollar is probably a bad example, but a good example is the grocery store. 25 bucks at the grocery store doesn't go as far now as it did 2 years ago. But yeah, your dollar's losing money or losing value. These are actually gaining value because every time there's chaos in the world, or the American market's on thin ice. This is all speculative too, because like nobody actually knows, but it's more of a feeling, and that's how the stock market kind of runs, on feelings. Same with the price of silver and gold. These will always, always, always have value. If your stocks die, the value of this is probably worth more than it was before. Every time there's bad news about the American dollar, the cost of silver and gold goes up. Gold's a whole different beast that's out of my price range. I can't get into that yet, and if I did get into it, it it would have to be fractional gold, which I do have a couple of gold backs. Like Florida was giving away gold. I live in New York, and I sent away to Florida for one of their halfbacks, and I had a bunch of my friends from around town, and just a couple of buddies that don't even live in town. I had them send away for them too, and when they got them in the mail, they gave them to me because they're friends. So I do have a couple of gold backs, but man, the the amount you have to pay in for such a small amount of gold, it's the premium is way too high, way too high. If this stuff interests you guys, silver, let me know in the comments, please, because I can make more videos about silver and stuff. I do have a small stack. Yeah, but constitutional silver, junk silver, keep a lookout for it. Check your pockets. That's 1964 or older for the silver. If you're interested in the pennies, 1982 or older. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy your day, and I hope you guys find some silver. And if you're in a tight spot and you end up finding a couple of quarters or something, that could really help you out. Take those down to the coin shop and see what you can get for them. And I do advise going to a coin shop instead of going to like the pawn shop or whatever. Chances are the coin shop's going to give you a little bit more. I'm not certain on that. I've never actually sold any of my silver. That's my hoard. I'm like Smog with my treasure. But keep an eye out, guys. Might help you out.